So let's start in our division, Krabs, the NL East. What are we looking at here? What do you think? What sticks out to you when you look at this?
Oof. Well, some serious respect on the Braves. That's the first thing I noticed for sure. In my opinion, deservingly so. But to many, they're going to see the Mets there at plus 155 and not really understand why after all the additions they made in the offseason. I know why, because the Braves are the most well-run, sneakily best team in all of baseball. And they've got a great young core they've signed for the next 5-8 years. And I don't really see how they don't win this division. They're young. They're usually healthy. The Mets, they got a bunch of older stars, but a lot of health concerns, especially on the mound with Scherzer and Verlander. So I like the Braves here personally. I wouldn't be betting the Mets. I'd rather take the Phillies than the Mets. You probably like hearing that. But unfortunately, I think it's Braves or nothing in this division. And, they might be plus a hundo, but that's all we got. So what are we supposed to do? Oh, you're muted. Goats are muted.
You know what? There it is. It's because my dogs decided to have a spaz stack. Anyway, I'm going back to the Phillies here. You guys know what I'm doing. Plus 400. The guy who made this line, he's getting fired, all right, after the season. Giving us 400 with the Phils. Come on. This is one that I'm all in on. Listen, we know last year they obviously went on that run at the end of the year, made the World Series. They got better in the offseason. They added Trey Turner. So this is a guy who lit it up in the World Baseball Classic. They're stronger up the middle. I get Rhys Hoskins being out. That's going to hurt them offensively. It's actually going to help them a lot defensively. I think he's the worst fielding first baseman that the league has ever seen. So I'm all in on the Phillies here. The issue early in the year, Bryce Harper obviously will not start the season on the field. He's way ahead of schedule, though, to return. So I think he'll still play a lot of games this season. I think he'll still have a big impact on the team. Pitching-wise, you still got Wheeler and Nola up at the front, two guys who are capable of going out and winning you 20 games at any time. So love what they got up there. They also added Walker, who obviously is not a great arm, but anyone who's watched the Phillies knows he's a much better back-end starter than what we've had in years past. So I think he's a guy who could step up. Ranger Suarez also will not start the season healthy, but this is a team that's going to get more healthy as the year goes on. If it's not going to be the Phillies, I agree it's going to be the Braves. I'm really not into the Mets this year. I think the top of their rotation, obviously two great arms, but you mentioned it, Krabs. How healthy can they stay? I'm also kind of curious to see how they adjust in this new pitch clock era, right? Like two guys who've played the game so long. Let's see how they adjust there. And the Mets always met at the end of the year. No matter how good they are, they always choke. It does not matter what happens. So, yeah, the Mets don't scare me. I think it's the Phillies here or the Braves. Phillies good value. And that's really all I got there. Just whatever you do, don't bet the Mets. This is a donation.
Well, you bring up, the pitch clocks and some of those veterans on the Mets.
Yeah.
Max Scherzer is up to his old tricks. He is actually trying to use the clock to his advantage now and try to throw batters off, whether that's him get set super early and waits the entire, 30 seconds or whatever the pitch clock is, the batter steps out. And then as soon as the batter steps his 1 foot back in the box, he's allowed to pitch, and he's been quick pitching these guys. So, Scherzer's going to try to beat people with his mind. That's what he's been doing for years.
I'm dying on mute today, guys. This is not a good mute day. But no, I agree. You mentioned it. He's going to get it done. Offensively, they still have the guys. The Mets are a great team on paper, but we just see every year. They just have not been able to translate that to the field. Down there, the Marlins and Nats. I think it's going to be a long year, Krabs, for your Nats. Obviously, they're slated to be one of the worst teams in baseball. Marlins, though, maybe they make some noise this year. I don't think so, but if you're feeling frisky, it's been the year a little bit of Miami, right? The college basketball teams are heating up. Maybe that translates to the dime and they get it done. They're always a tough team for the Phillies, I'll tell you that. They always play tough in the division. So we will see who comes out with that division. But, yeah, I'm going Phillies. And then if I had to go with another team, I think it's Atlanta to get that one done.